Good morning. This is Bill. This video is dedicated to my mom, who's always supported me in my quest for truth. To Steve at work, who challenged me to find and study and dig until I found evidence about the man on the moon. To Paul Harris, who pushed me to publish this information, this evidence, to bring it forth. And to McGraw-Milhaven, who inspired me to officially sign the Architects and Engineers for 911 Truth petition as a degreed mechanical engineer. So, one of the things that inspired me was my top 10 list, and you probably can't see it. Number 1, that we landed on the moon. Number 2, that Vince Foster committed suicide at Forest Darcy Park. Number 3, that John F. Kennedy was killed in the way the Warren Commission report lists it. And Bill Hicks said it better than I ever could. So go to YouTube and search for Bill Hicks video, Hicks, on John F. Kennedy assassination, and that kind of sums that up. Number 4, TWA Flight 800. The night it happened, I saw at least a dozen witnesses on the news, and everyone described the same thing. A flare coming up from the earth that went up in the sky, and then a big explosion in the sky. After the first 4, I knew that it was a surface-to-air missile that took down Flight 800. And then following that, I got other evidence that I trust that supports it was not a... And I used to work on fuel tanks. The fuel sensor has 5 volts. It would be almost impossible for that thing to start a spark. And in the fuel tank, because diesel fuel, Jet A is very hard to burn. So, official story, again, I don't buy it. Oklahoma City bombing. There's no way a truck filled with explosives that just barely made a crater in the road and only broke windows on one side of the street took out steel reinforced concrete beams on the inside. That means there were explosives attached to those beams. The truck didn't do it. That was a demolition. That World War II was a surprise. Now we know that's not true. 911. Like I said, I signed the AE 911 Truth.org petition earlier this year. And I do not believe that there's any way that 2 planes could hit 2 skyscrapers at the top and have 3 skyscrapers collapse at the base. There's no way planes at the top made the buildings collapse at the base. Number 8, the weapon of mass destruction in Iraq. The whole reason we went over there. That wasn't really true, was it? Number 9, Indian treaties. We broke every last one of them. Number 10, Satoru, aka Barack Obama. Birth certificate's a fake. I can prove that real easy. The whole thing was a farce. So, that list is 10 years old. I could add more to it now, and it's in no particular order. But this is the biggie, that we landed on the moon and brought men back. Okay, brought men back. That's the problem. When I was in grade school, we didn't have TV. We had the 16mm projectors. So I distinctly remember sitting in 6th grade watching this video. Closed all the blinds, projected it, and after we got done I thought, that's fake, and I looked around but nobody else said anything, so I didn't either. They've studied psychology. That's psychological, where if you're the only one in the bunch that sees the truth, you don't want to go against everybody else. So, but anyway, that's always bothered me. So ever since I was 10 years old, 5th or 6th grade, 10, 11 years old, I've kind of had a healthy skepticism for everything. So, let's take a look at this video. And this is the one I remember. So, we'll start it here. This is downloaded from YouTube.
I'm going to get the pro. 99, proceeded, 3, 2, 1, ignition. Right away, Houston. Extra good. X thought. Pitch over. I hear you, I've got fast.
Watch this part again.
Ignition. Run away, Houston. Vector good. 1. Ignition. Run away, Houston. Vector good. 1. Ignition. Run away, Houston. 1. Ignition. Run away, Houston.
Okay. Let's close this out. So, my problem was basically that I remember seeing the Apollo, you know, the 5-stage rocket that it takes to get off the Earth, and I understand that gravity on the moon is less, and that you're taking equipment with you, so you have, you know, more payload when you're getting out there. But still, it didn't make sense to me that this little tiny craft could just go poof off the surface of the moon, and off it goes. You know, no flames, no nothing. So, that video I knew was fake, so I just had to find out where it was fake. So, to do the engineering analysis to see what we need to determine acceleration. So we need the thrust of the engine right here, 15.57 kilonewton. We need the total mass of the Lunar Ascent Module is 4780 kilogram, and we need the height of the Lunar Ascent Module, the LAM. So we have that data here from brownig.us, braunig.us. That's where you'll find this data to check it yourself. This is NASA's data. So let's solve the equation. So this is the liftoff. You can see the green smoke coming out. The ignition was at 11.67 seconds in that video. So up at the top, force is mass times acceleration. So acceleration is force divided by mass equal 15.57 kilonewton. Divided by 4,780 kilograms is 3.25 meters per second. But that's how much acceleration the engine is supposedly creating. You have to overcome lunar gravity, which is about 1/6 of that on the Earth. So we have to subtract. Earth's gravity is 9.82 meters per second, so 1/6 of that is 1.6 meters per second. Leaves a net acceleration of 1.2 meters per second squared. So we can use the position formula, which is derived through calculus, which I had plenty of that in engineering school, is 1/2 at squared plus initial velocity times t plus initial position. So in this case, we're going to have 1/2 times 1.6 meters per second squared times time squared plus 0 initial velocity and 0 initial position. Solves down to 0.8 times t squared gives us our height in meters. And we know the Lunar Ascent Module is 3.2 meters tall. So here's the first frame, ignition at 11.67 seconds. The purple line indicates, you know, the base of the LAM, or where the base of the LAM should be. So let's go to 1 second and solve. 1 second after liftoff, we solve 0.8 times 1 squared is 0.8 meters, so it should have moved 1/4 of an LAM, which is where that purple line is approximately. And it moved about a whole LAM in 1 second. Huh. So let's go next to 2 seconds after liftoff. At 13.67 second frame, 2 seconds after liftoff, it should have gone 0.8 times 4 is 3.2 meters, or 1 LAM. The purple line is 1 LAM. This thing is 3 times as far as it should have moved. Let's go to the third 3 seconds after. This is frame 14.7 seconds, 3 seconds after liftoff. 0.8 times 9 is 7.2 meters. It should have moved 2.25 LAMs. And it's almost, the LAM is almost panned out of the frame. But that's the purple line is approximately where the LAM should be if NASA data is correct, because I just solved it for you. And 4 seconds after, you can't even see the base anymore. The purple line is where the LAM should be per established physics, and it's not. So, my conclusion is that NASA's video does not agree with NASA's data, which leads me to the conclusion that NASA lied. So, yes, I don't think we ever went to the moon, and here's your proof that NASA lied about the evidence. Okay, that's all for now. Maybe I'll do a special video on some of those other top 10s, but I wanted to cover this one and get it published. So, take care. Get your healthy dose of skepticism. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.